Luol Deng, Ben Gordon, Derrick Rose, Ben Simmons, how does that relate to people who claim they could have beat nigga if it wasn't for someone, Kyle Korver, Shannon Brown, Derek Fisher, who says that someone will try to see all their eyes because they claim that when you put Little Fizz and Omarion and Brandon Kane, they claim that some people who are in recording allow themselves to compete with CJ and J. Cole and Corbin Blue because sometimes when people get to be light-skinned and mixed, as Ginobili and Dirk Nowitzki, it's different than someone having an acute face who would be someone like LaCrystal, or an acute face will be someone who has an acute face. Someone like acute face will be someone who is like DeMar DeRozan, because they claim that if someone had an acute face that was really annoying, it would be someone who reminds people of Patricio and Denzel, but they claim they could beat a black man in a fight because they're unidentified with a tribe, that people will get offensive because they claim that the only time black men allow a straggler is if it's Elder Johnson, Keywan, or Live, who they claim they will open their eyes in the light of goodness because it reminds people with a small head will try to say they look like Pete because people claim when Pete exists, he has a head shape where Puerto Ricans exist, not Mexicans, and it's very important. If a black man identifies black, he says it's nothing to do with white people. So if someone identifies as Mexican, they claim that a man fell from heaven because he tried to give Isaiah and Nick something that didn't relate to a Chris Brown, Bow Weezy, because they got so offended that a man is eligible to open the code that he wouldn't do it because they say that her sweetness is really the most out of Beyonce, out of Christina Milian, out of Rihanna. You still get a lady who's solid, who is a star because of her looks. But when people start mentioning how good does someone dance, how good is their footwork, how much trouble do they have in their unique voice of a whale and a frog and not a human stick like Pinocchio, you get debate on how people are famous with popularity that is associated with House on the Prairie and WWE Stone Cold Steve Austin, because they have a head shape that is also historical like Spider-Man, because if anybody else was in the video, they would have to be Justin Timberlake, Peter Parker, and Billy from Power Ranger, because they are associated with heritage, where if a black man goes to a black church and he sees DeMar DeRozan, Denzel Washington, Shannon Brown, Bow Wow, Corbin Blue, he might not be from a place that sees someone with a different tribe like Matilda, or someone with a different tribe like Honey I Shrunk the Kid, because he would stay away from them and he would be under the jurisdiction of a leader who claims that if I was eligible to go places with a driver's license, it wouldn't be under John Quincy Adams or someone with fear of Barack Obama in a different age, because they claim that if I would know what's going on now because I have a cut in my drawers that is not linked to how I can't buy things because I can't trade it from people, because they say that the other day, last year, I took the biggest dump of my life after going to the zoo 2 years before, and or 1 year before, and then this year I took another one after 2007 where it was surprising, but it means that I might not have diabetes because the way that I eat is linked to how people will say that someone will get angry at a black man for having a digestive system and a face because they try to call them ugly when I go to a black church. But when I got older, I said, what about women? I don't want to leech off the church, so I have to go and get my own apartment and see if I could get a woman for myself that's light-skinned like Marsha Thompson, Cassie, Christina Milian, because someone claims that if a girl exists, why can't she get certain treatment? Because it's been my childhood dream to date a black girl from the hood, a black girl, ghetto girl, light-skinned girl with attitude, and not someone who claims their eyes is open by an institution where they want to compete with these girls because they want to get access to places that I couldn't find a place to sleep, so I had to get my apartment in a dangerous community, and it was part of my love and part of my love book. So when someone says that they want to study people for free using the government and the DHS, how does that relate to people who are not on record? Because if someone is threatening to sell my mom's house that they don't own, how could I make a video and put it somewhere that the law can't make them accountable? Because what if the police are gangsters and they have guns, but it's not associated with a tribe, that associates if someone plays football in high school, how is that linked to someone who claims that they don't do what it takes to get to that high school, but they claim they not want to be ranked, to say that it's not true, that they don't want to see people because they claim that real success comes from within, you see? Like I said, bro. So that's why when people read the Bible before high school and they read the Bible after high school, when they have dinosaurs before a child is born, or they have New Testament characters after someone turns 40 years old, after a time before, how could that link to someone who says that they have power to kick someone out